Namaste, Hare Krishna. Second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, Sloka 62 and 63. Dhyāyato viṣayān puṁsaḥ saṅgas teṣūpajāyate saṅgāt sañjāyate kāmaḥ kāmāt krodho bhijāyate krodhād bhavati sammohaḥ sammohāt smṛti-vibhramaḥ smṛti-bhraṁśād buddhi-nāśo buddhi-nāśāt praṇaśyati. So in the series that we've been seeing, the 59th sloka, which said, by having the darshan, by seeing the Atma, one will be completely able to control the senses. And the next 60th sloka said, by controlling of senses, one will be able to see the Atma. And now in the 61st sloka, we saw how can we do this both contradicting thing. How can this be resolved? Therefore Krishna gave an answer in 61st sloka that yukta asita matparaha tani sarvani samyamya ukta asita matparaha. By focusing oneself on the beautiful form of Krishna, one should be able to overcome this problem of trying to control the senses and also to see the Atma. So the question here is, what in case if we do not follow the recommendation that Krishna gave in the 61st sloka, but try to work on our own ways? What will be the outcome? That is, one doesn't want to meditate on the beautiful form of Krishna, meditate on Krishna, but they think of something of their own, having complete confidence that they should be able to do it by themselves without help of Krishna. That is what has been answered in these two beautiful staircase slokas. We call it as a staircase because it tells us step by step where a person falls down from his position, whatever the position the person may be. How does he fall down and get entangled further? For several lifetimes, we have been indulged in the senses and sense objects, enjoying them, which has created and accumulated various different types of vasanas within us, the impressions. This is just not one time, but millions of lifetimes, unlimited, which travels, these impressions that travels along with the Atma. When the Atma leaves one body to another body, to another body, another body, the vasana has been carried for many lifetimes, life after life. We can also see this when a newly born baby, a child, when we give few drops of sugar water, happily takes it. When we give a bitter thing, it tries to push it out. So where does this knowledge come from? Because of the previous vasanas, impression that's being carried. There could be many things, such examples can be seen in the world. Therefore, due to those impressions, for one to be free from the thoughts of sense objects is not an easy one. It's quite challenging, a very difficult task to get out of this impression. Though it appears a person who may go to a secluded place, wanting to live peacefully, completely engage in meditation, but the impression is still with him not gone, and they're very active. So the solution that is given in the previous sloka is to meditate on the form of Lord Sri Krishna. That will purify him, and finally, with the help of the Lord, one can see is Atma, because that is what has been decided by this person in this stage. Of course, starting 7th chapter, the desire will change to see Paramatma. So sticking on to chapter 2, so the question, but for one who doesn't meditate on the form of the Lord, thinks he can control his senses by his own power and can control the mind and thinking he can see the Atma, what will happen to him? And that is what has been explained in this beautiful 2 slokas. Since the impressions are still there, the short answer is, since the impressions are still there, he will be pulled back into the control of these sense and sense objects. Because the mind has to be set on the Lord. If it is not set on the Lord, it has to be set on something else. And obviously anything besides Krishna is material things which is going to pull one back. So in this sloka, dhyāyato viṣayān puṁsaḥ, the step-by-step things has been told that the very first thing is a person contemplates on an object. As he contemplates, think about an object. When he sees an object or remembers an object, some things, he contemplates mentally. As he contemplates, saṅgas teṣūpajāyate, then he starts developing attachment towards that particular object. As he develops attachment towards that object, what happens is saṅgāt sañjāyate kāmaḥ. That attachment turns into kāma. Kāma is a stage where one becomes desperate, that one can't live any further without having that object. And that is called kāma. And that leads to anger, because kāmāt krodho bhijāyate. That leads to anger. If it happens, if the desire is getting fulfilled, well and good. Doesn't get fulfilled, then obviously that turns into anger. So when the desire is fulfilled, that is sukham. If not, it creates a dukkham. Sukham and dukkham varies on the person. For a self-realized person, sukham, happiness, is when they are united with the Lord. And dukkham, misery, is when they are separated from the Lord. This is for the self-realized souls. For people like us, sukham means, happiness means when we are connected to the sense objects. And dukkham means when we are disconnected from the sense objects or enjoyment. So, saṅgāt sañjāyate kāmaḥ. So that attachment turns into kāma. Now kāma, when it's not fulfilled, kāmāt krodho bhijāyate. That kāma will now turns into anger because the desire is not fulfilled. And especially the anger towards who became an object of blocking their happiness, has become the hindrance for them to get fulfilled with their happiness. Someone blocked it, so angry on that person. So that leads one to lose the ability. Once anger comes into the picture, then obviously the next thing is that person loses the ability to discriminate the right thing, matter. Krodhād bhavati sammohaḥ. Moha means delusion, unable to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. That's sammoha means that's in a very matured stage of illusion, confusion. Sammohāt, smṛti-vibhramaḥ. When this happens, sammoha, the next stage is where smṛti-vibhramaḥ, he loses his memory, he lost his memory. The memory of wanting to certain goal in his life. Now since the memory is lost, he lost the goal. And he forgot the starting point, why he started all these things. And at this stage, this person doesn't think anything, consider anything never thinks about what is right and what is bad, never feel fearful about committing any mistakes, even go to the extreme case of killing someone. smṛti-bhraṁśād buddhi-nāśo. By this he lost his intelligence, the determination. buddhi-nāśāt praṇaśyati. Then he eventually falls down again. So the cause of all this is because not letting the mind in the Lord's beautiful form, but tried himself with his own program. By not contemplating in the sense object, let's see the reverse order of this one. By focusing on the Lord, one doesn't contemplate on the sense object. Because he is not contemplating on the sense object, he develops detachment towards those sense objects. Because detachment is growing within him, the rajoguna and tamoguna, that kāmaḥ and krodho, goes away. Because there is no kāmaḥ and krodho caused by the rajoguna and tamoguna, he is in sattva-guna, he is able to discriminate matters carefully, which is because of his strong memory power. His memory is still vibrant. Because his memory carries all right things, his intelligence is also fixed. Because his determination and intelligence is fixed, therefore he is able to see the Atma. It's a beautiful step that Krishna gives. To summarize these two sloka, that a person contemplating on an object develops an attachment, and that turns into kāmaḥ, and that kāmaḥ turns into anger when it's not fulfilled. When that person is in anger, then he is not able to differentiate what is right and what is wrong. Moha, sammohaḥ, which is on a very matured stage. Because of that, he lost his memory. Since he lost his memory, then his intelligence, which loses its determination, and finally he falls down. Therefore, the best way is to, rather than trying to attempt everything by ourselves, we try to fix our focus on Krishna's beautiful form. By doing so, our mind and the senses will be captivated by that beauty, and our mind and senses will not loiter on the sense objects, because of which we become more detached to those things, and the rajoguna and tamoguna will subside and sattva-guna will increase. By that, we are able to discriminate right things with a proper memory and the intelligence. One should be able to see the self. Dhyāyato viṣayān puṁsaḥ saṅgas teṣūpajāyate saṅgāt sañjāyate kāmaḥ kāmāt krodho bhijāyate krodhād bhavati sammohaḥ sammohāt smṛti-vibhramaḥ smṛti-bhraṁśād buddhi-nāśo buddhi-nāśāt praṇaśyati. Namaste. Hare Krishna.